You're listening to the Crew Talk Podcast, a conversation about chasing growth.
We do that. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Crew Talk Podcast. It's your boy Tim here. This is season 3, where I do like a little deep dive into some of my friends on campus. This episode's gonna be about Cesar, Mr. Yamman himself. He's from Cuba. Now we're in Grenada, so we'll talk a little bit more about his journey and how he got here. All right, take it away.
All right, so I was born in Cuba, as Tim said, and I migrated to Miami at the age of 13. Then I just got through my regular school courses all up until college, where I was not really sure whether or not I wanted to do medicine.
Right.
I was not even sure about what I wanted to do. At one point, I wanted to be a PT, dentist. Everything just went through my mind except for medicine. But at one point, I met Gerardo, and I went on a trip to Puerto Rico with him, where I more or less got more experience with people and how to treat people more. Like, we went to a homeless shelter per se in Puerto Rico, and at that point, I looked more into the practice of medicine. And then when I got back to Miami, I started shadowing doctors, and from there, I decided I wanted to do medicine, and that's why I'm here today.
I feel you. Yeah. So, do you know what specialty you want to do right now, or is it still like
for now, I think I'm mostly focused on internal medicine.
Okay.
And then from there, I might want to do gastro.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The boy be dialed on gastro. Questions.
We lost on that gastro.
I feel you. So you said you moved from Cuba to Miami at the age of 13. So you spent a decent amount of time.
Oh yeah,
in Cuba.
I did.
So how was it growing up there?
I mean, Cuba is very fun, at least when you're a kid, because you don't have those responsibilities that come with adulthood.
Yeah.
But it is very bad there right now. My brother still lives there.
Okay.
And he tells me that how bad it is over there. And but growing up, it was very fun. I lived very close to the beach. I would play sports in the streets, and it was always very fun growing up. But when you go back, after a while, you realize how little things have changed, and how there's no progress.
Right.
So that is something I'm very thankful for when I arrived in the States.
Is your brother older than you?
Yeah, he's 10 years older.
Okay. He like had his family and stuff established, and so he stayed.
Yeah, he had his family there.
Yeah.
And so he stayed in Cuba, but he keeps telling me that there's not much going on. So it's the same thing, the same people on the street.
Yeah.
Is drinking because there's not really much to do.
Right.
So that's not the only thing they do.
And so when you came to Miami, it was just you, your mom, and your dad.
Yes.
Okay. And they just they were just tired of it, and they just.
Yeah, we had been trying to move to Miami for quite a while, but the process is just very long. So we had to wait like about 6 years before we migrated.
Okay.
But yeah, my parents were tired of it, and we wanted to start a new life somewhere else.
I know. So my girlfriend, she's from Fort Lauderdale, so she's Miami adjacent. And is there a reason specifically, like a lot of I guess Caribbean, south of America choose Miami? Is it just because a big city, or?
The reason why I think is because there has already been the Latin culture in Miami has grown so much over the years that it's a very good destination for those who live in Latin America.
Okay.
So you go there, and there might be a probability that you know people from there.
Yeah.
That may help you out to get you started.
Okay. So how was it? So you said there was probably pockets of culture that were pretty similar. Was it a big shift, change, going from being in Cuba to going to an American city?
It was a big shift.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Migrating to Miami kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things, and how accustomed you have to get to other cultures.
Okay.
And because you don't see that in Cuba. Cuba is very monotonous. It's just Cubans living there for the most part. But now you come and you see people from all over the world,
Right.
and you see how different they are from you, and that gives you a good perspective that you need, in some sense, change yourself
Mm-hmm.
to adapt to
Right.
different people, so you can all live in harmony, right?
Makes sense.
And make others feel welcome.
Yeah.
To you. Yeah.
I feel that. So, what were some of the things like when y'all moved to Miami that you missed about Cuba?
Something I missed. For the most part, my family, my brother,
Yeah.
my friends growing up,
Mhm.
And how we used to go and like play soccer, let's say, in
Yeah.
the afternoon. That was just something that I did not do when I got to Miami.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to like make friends at first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did your family speak English and Spanish when they moved, or did they have to learn English after they moved?
Oh no, they migrated, and they today they still do not
Oh, they don't.
speak the language that well now.
Oh, wow.
My mom kind of picked it up
Yeah.
a little bit, but my dad, no.
Damn.
My dad didn't.
I feel I feel like you get away with it in a city like Miami, but like cities, well, where I'm from, it's straight English. Like, we don't really have that. It's more tourists than like immigrants who come.
Mhm.
So New Orleans is also like super small. So like it's like a tourist destination for like Mardi Gras and like different music festivals.
Mhm.
But like I don't want to like throw out the wrong number, but compared to like New York City, Miami, LA, it's like a neighborhood compared to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely different in terms of like interacting with like international people from a young age.
Yeah, I think in Miami it's easier to get by if you know Spanish than if you knew English.
Really?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
The amount of people that speak Spanish in Miami is tremendous. I go wherever I go. The first language I use is Spanish for the most part.
Damn.
If they don't speak Spanish, then I try English. But it is like that.
Shit, that makes a lot more sense. It's like way easier to like assimilate into the culture. So you move to Miami, you go through high school. Where'd you go to college at?
I went to college at Miami-Dade College, and I also went to Florida International University.
Okay. How was that?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I really did. The culture there was very welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
And my friends, the friends that I met during my time at both of those colleges are friends that I still...
For a lifetime?
Yeah, that I feel like they're going to be there for a while. They're going to stick around for a while.
That's what's up.
One of those are Gerardo.
Okay, yeah.
And, I met them there, and I feel like they're friends that I'm probably going to keep around for a lifetime.
Yeah. Like y'all went to FIU, now y'all in Grenada.
Yeah.
Y'all kind of like stuck with each other.
Yeah.
So when did you finish college?
I finished college in 2020. Yes.
Okay. Oh, damn. I finished in 2018.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was going to ask if you had like a gap between SU and college, but you just went straight here.
No, I had a year.
Oh, you had a year?
Yeah, I had a gap for a whole year.
Okay.
And I think a whole year and kind of like a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you do during the gap year?
I was mostly studying.
Oh, for them
and
getting stuff?
Working.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much all I did.
So the trip that you went on to Puerto Rico, was that before you finished at FIU?
Yeah.
Okay, and then like just from there, like it was like, okay, so I'm gonna gear towards medicine, and then you took the year off.
Yeah, it was during that time that my friends asked me to explore the option of medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me think a lot of whether or not I should pursue that career. And it was at that time that I really started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, my friends are going into this. Let me hear them out and see what they have to say.
Right.
And it was at that time that they asked me to get more involved.
But
And go shadow physicians, and I feel like that's what really changed me. I had no insight on what I was going to do
right.
until I started getting more involved in the field.
What do your mom and dad do for work?
My mom is a nurse,
Okay,
and my dad is an electrician.
gotcha. So they're not too far off. Like I mean, like medicine kind of been growing up. Yeah. Do you feel like like anything besides a trip? Like, could you have found medicine in any other way besides going on that trip? Do you think without that trip, you probably wouldn't be here?
I think without that trip, I wouldn't be here.
Gotcha.
That was a critical point in my life.
Yeah.
Where I felt like I had to either decide or spend more time trying to decide. Figuring it out. I feel like it was my friends played a big role in when it came to decision making.
Yeah. So everyone on that trip, are they all doing medicine now too?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Well, there's one of them that's not doing medicine.
Okay.
He decided to do social. No, I think it's marketing.
Okay.
Yes, marketing.
Corporate world. That's for some. So you do. I mean, I've done a few podcasts with like different SU students, and I haven't heard like one like story that was. I haven't heard two stories that were similar for like why we ended up here. So out of all the schools to choose from, what made SU the one for you?
What made it the one for me was that. I mean, for one, the views kind of just call you. So you see this very nice view, and it makes you think, "Oh wow, I would like to be there."
Right.
But other than that, I feel like they over the years they have been able to make students go into very good rotations. You see that on the website, and also the step passing rate was I mean, equals rotation. It's almost 100%.
Yeah.
So you kind of like take those two and wait them out, and it sounds very attractive to go somewhere where you might
succeed.
Yeah, where your success rate is much higher than at other places.
That makes sense. Yeah. So like being from Cuba and then going to the U.S. and then choosing another international school to go to, was there any like hesitation in like leaving America to go to another school, or was it more like I'm excited to do this because I
was excited to do this. Yeah, I feel like I needed that in my life. I needed to just move away from home.
Right.
And
having I guess you've only done one term, but like having done so many terms online to like coming in person, like how was that experience, like that transition?
It's way better than I expected.
Really?
Yeah. I do feel like I'm more focused here, and I'm living in this environment where I see a lot of people studying, a lot of people getting involved, and it just makes you want to
work harder,
do more
for
yourself. Yeah.
What's been your favorite, I guess, like outside of like academics, what's been your favorite part about like Grenada in and of itself?
I love beach.
Yeah.
I love going there, and also the social life that I have here is great now. As I go play volleyball with you guys.
All right.
Is there?
Ain't no baby. I woke up. Ain't no. Inside joke for those who know.
But yeah, no. Aside from that, I think what I really like is just going to the beach and being invited over to have dinner with my friends.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things that I do not really have in Miami.
Yeah.
But here, it just comes to me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like its own like somehow you like form your own like tribe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yes.
So having so I guess like Cuban culture, Miami culture, American culture, and Grenadian culture. Do you feel like having bounced between so many cultures has made like the transition here easier? Because I know a lot of students come here and they're like completely shocked at like the lack of, I guess, like resources, or like I don't think it's difficult, but like some people find it difficult to like move around or to like get things here. But like having been able to bounce around, like how has that been for you?
Well, Grenada is very close to Cuba in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like the streets, the beaches, just the ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that in Cuba. So when I got here, I mean, I was taking the bus, like I would if I would be in Cuba.
Right.
I also, I mean, here that the supermarket has a lot more variety
Right.
than it does in Cuba.
Oh.
Way more. And so that I mean, I've never really seen an obstacle here that
Mhm.
has made it slightly difficult. Or
Right.
anything. Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah, I know. Like, I guess it's just like some people just being a bit more privileged, but like some people like complain about the buses or like complain about like IGA and stuff like not having things. But I'm not gonna say like I'm used to like the store not having things, but like it just hasn't been. Those small things just haven't been like oh man, I hate it here. You know.
No.
It definitely has its ups and its downs, but some people's transitions I feel like have been a lot harder.
I mean, there are things that you can definitely live without that you don't really need here.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I do not even need them in the States.
Yeah.
So it's not something that I really need to have in order to feel good
Mm-hmm.
or feel like I'm not going to miss out on anything.
Right.
But I mean, aside from that, the material here, I mean, the resources that you have are pretty much the same as the ones I have in Miami.
Yeah.
Same ones I use.
I feel. So a lot of I get this question all the time. Not specifically like why St. George, but like I guess like people don't really know too much about Grenada. Like I didn't know much about this island before I came here. But for example, like if you were to go back after we finished with med school and people like ask you about your experience here, like what are some of the things that like made Grenada like I guess like a impact on your life as like going forth being a doctor?
I think in regards to that, what plays the biggest factor has been like, let's say the hospital sessions.
Yeah.
And because you see people who actually who really need help, and they're being taken care of, and having that assurance that you're gonna be taken care of when you go to the hospital, that must be very relieving
Right.
to those who seek help. But aside from that, I think I really don't have anything else that matter. How about you?
For me,
Do you have anything else?
I guess like the hospital session is definitely like it gives you like the perspective of like so I've been to a hospital in the US. I haven't been to any other hospitals outside of the US. But just seeing like the lack of resources that they have, but like how efficient their doctors are with the lack of resources. So I've learned so much from the doctors in the hospital in those like 2 hours. And like they don't even have like a laptop or like a lecture to teach me. They're just so knowledgeable about their stuff and it's just like, man, like you guys are really good at your jobs and like for whatever reason you came back here to help out. So like that's like memories that like I guess I'm making or like experiencing. It's like when I go back to the US I'm just gonna be like very appreciative of like all the stuff that they have to use.
Same thing in Dominican Republic. Because I also went to Dominican Republic with my friends.
Yeah.
To the hospitals and we rotated in different wards. I noticed that they in the operating room they sometimes they did not have the right
Tools?
Yeah, the right tools.
Yeah.
But they still made it happen. You know? It was not the most aesthetic,
Right.
as they put it, but they still got the job done.
Right.
And you can really see how, despite the lack of resources, where they still provide the best of their abilities to their patients.
What out of the hospital sessions that we've been to, which I guess specialty has been your favorite so far? But not your favorite, but like the one that was like the most eye opening for you.
The most eye-opening for me. Oh, okay. The first one I went to, it was just internal med.
Okay.
It was a patient that did not really give us all the info.
Yeah.
Hid some stuff when asked.
Yeah.
So, and also I think the last one too. The last one, the patient kind of lied about feeling like vibration on the feet.
Right.
And then when asked to close the eyes, patient said, "Oh yes, I feel it," and the fork was not in the foot, so they could not have felt something that was not there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he was like, "Yeah, I feel it," but no, he was lying.
Wow.
But yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be like a constant hurdle that we would have to like get used to, like trying to decipher between like, is the patient lying, they're telling the truth. Yeah, I feel like that's like a recurring thing that we'll see. We had I did OB on Monday, and I don't know, I learned a lot of things. So apparently in Grenada they don't give like epidural or like any sort of pain management for like women who go into like natural birth. So our patient it was her first birth, so like she didn't really have an opinion on it because like she didn't know what to expect. But like the doctor came in and she was telling us like all about this, and the third, and it was just like, wow, you guys do a lot. It's like with OB you're managing 2 patients, and it's like just the lack of resources and like her knowledge and like all the stuff that like she had to manage because she was the only OB for both floors. And it's like, wow, you got to do that and you got to come back and teach us. Yeah, it was just, I have no interest in OB, but like I developed like an appreciation for it just because of like seeing like how hard she worked.
Believe it or not, I mean, it has to be very tiring having so many responsibilities. And on top of that is at the hospital. Whenever I'm done with the hospital, I feel tired. I feel like I feel a little tired because I've been on my feet
all day.
All day. It can be a little exhausting. Imagine being there for the whole day and also having to teach people and go back and forth.
Yeah,
it can be a little draining.
I feel like being like, there's no telling what the future has, but like being a doctor at a teaching hospital definitely has like a larger burden on like your like I guess your career length. It's like you're managing lives and you're trying to like bring up people behind you to like take on your role eventually. So hats off to like the teaching doctors out there.
Yeah, it has to be very, very tough.
Yeah.
Dealing with 2 things at the same time.
Right.
And also making the best out of those 2.
Yeah, that's true. So fast forward in like 5 years from now, 2 years, let's say 3.
Okay.
3 years from now, we'll be done with med school. Where do you see yourself?
I see myself probably working a whole bunch of hours.
Right. First year resident.
Yeah. Probably. Who knows? Maybe getting picked on. Maybe learning.
Yeah.
Well, definitely learning.
Right. 100%. It never stops.
And just trying to do the best that I can to lead, I guess.
Yeah.
Those who come after me. So.
Okay, so say you do internal medicine. What's the residency for that? Is what, 4 years?
I think it's 3.
3. All right. Fast forward 10 years from now.
Right.
What's Cesar doing? What does 10 years from now Cesar look like?
All right, Cesar. He will. I think after 10 years, you should find yourself in a position where you will definitely not be in charge of the whole floor, but you may have a decent amount of responsibility to take. I just see myself just guiding people.
Yeah.
I also like teaching. So I think at one point I may also want to teach people.
Okay.
Like the content that we are now struggling with.
Right. So one of the things, like one of the models for like the podcast, like the brand is like to chase growth. And I know like when you said earlier when you migrated to Miami, like interacting with like other cultures and like learning how to be like harmony with other people, because like the thing that you learn, what's something that you do every day to like chase growth, to like make yourself better in like spiritual, academic, personal life? Like what are some of the things that like you actively do?
Well, in the social aspect, I really like making other people feel comfortable with who they are, and not having to hide or feel like they might be judged. So I really like just being myself to people so
Yeah.
they can be themselves with me.
Right.
So I think if you are capable of making people feel comfortable,
Mhm.
despite of where they come from, I think you can really like get places and like see who they really are.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's some wise words from a real wise guy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. All right, so I think that was pretty good. I want to thank everybody for watching. This is my boy Cesar. We're gonna sign out, and we'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.